What's up, everybody, and welcome to a very special next gen episode of the Co-op Stop. I am one of your hosts, Sam Woods, and joining me today is my co-host, my friend, Nick Blaine, aka Shotgun McPain. How are you, you wonderful man?
Feeling blessed yet concerned about things, but you know that's how it's expected to be.
Yeah. So the concerns, before we start, there's a lot of shit going on. That part of the world. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, full stop.
Yeah,
but
that's fair. We're number one, guy. You don't something you don't understand. We're number one, even if it's the fucking worst thing. We're number one, man.
Yeah, specifically over there. Obviously, as we record this, last night was the presidential debate where a certain president of the United States refused to condemn white supremacy, but us here at the Co-op Stop, we have a message, and our message is fuck white supremacy. Fuck white supremacy in the US, fuck white supremacy in the UK, fuck white supremacy, full stop.
Hey, Sam, can you ask me the question, do I condemn white supremacy?
Hey, so, Mr. Blaine, I just need to ask, do you condemn white supremacy?
Oh, wait, hold on, I gotta interrupt you a couple times, but other than that, yeah, I condemn white supremacy. White supremacy fucking sucks. It has no place in this country. It has no place in the world. And that is all you had to say. That is all you had to say. Not go to all that, like, oh, but Antifa, but this. Anyways, I'm not going to get super political. I just want to say, fuck white supremacists. Fuck white supremacy. As somebody who has had has been close to where the Proud Boys have marched, that fucking sucks. It's stupid. It has no place. If you have any sort of hate, just unsubscribe from this channel. Unsubscribe from, unfollow me on Twitter. Do everything, because I don't want you there. You are not a relevant person to me. All right, and then now let's go to our regular show.
Let's do it. Are you ready to talk next gen, Nick?
Absolutely. You know it.
Cool. Well, before we get there, it's been a whole month since we last got together. Have you been playing some games?
Man, have I been playing some games for you. Okay. So first off, I want to start by, and it's not really in chronological order, but I want to start by talking about a 10 out of 10 game as reported by DualShockers.com, and I am inclined to agree. Hades. Hades is so friggin' good, Sam. You are going to love it. It is the roguelite. It makes me feel the same way that I did when I first played a roguelite, which was, I think Rogue Legacy was the first one that I played. Yeah, it is just the gameplay loop of it all, no pun intended, obviously, but the gameplay loop where you're trying to, cave yourself out of this underworld, and with a story on top of it, it is so wonderfully done. I have never really been a fan of Supergiant, right? I always get them messed up with Supermassive, which is like, oh man, they're so close. But I liked Bastion. I liked the aesthetic of Transistor, but it just never really got me. And then Pyre, I'm not really a sports guy, so like that's all I've heard from it. But I like that. Again, I like the aesthetic there. But man, Hades is the culmination of it all, and it is so good. It is the tale that is weaved in this game is something that I've never seen from a roguelite at all. There's twists and turns and just a fun time. And again, it's a great podcast game. I really enjoy it. Can't praise it enough. Definitely going to be in my Game of the Year discussion for this year. I played it the other night. I was playing it and I was like, I'm just going to stay up and play Hades for maybe like a couple hours. And I think I started at like 10 when I got out of work, and I was up till like 3 a.m. So I was like, oh shit, the time, it went.
Yeah, Hades is extremely my shit. Like I was saying before we started recording, Dead Cells one of my favorite games this gen. Slay the Spire, obviously completely different game, but roguelike, my shit. Hollow Knight again, similar ish. All just fucking adore those three games. So I know that I'm gonna love Hades. It's just a case of I don't want to start it because I've got other shit going on, and I know I won't get this other shit done if I start playing Hades. So I've got to put my sensible head on and hold it aside until I know I can spend the time to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good idea, and I think for the time being, I think that if you need a game to jump to, I highly recommend, because it is a game you can just jump in and have a lot of fun with. And like, I'll play for like a 30-minute session, or I'll play for a 3-hour session. I feel satisfied either way. Yeah, it's very good. And of course, I'm gonna tease you a bit, because I'm not going to our one that I know we're gonna want to talk about first, but I've been playing a little bit more Persona 5 Royal. It is so hard to not to try to get back in that game, just because there's so many games, and I feel like at this point, like at the point that I'm at in Persona 5 Royal, is I haven't played, or I've already played it, so I feel bad playing it but not playing other games that came out this year. I kind of wish that I could have just skipped and had the ability to skip and get the new stuff. I mean, again, one of my favorite games of all time. I like Persona 5, like very high on my list, but I need a time to sit down and play it, and I haven't really got that with their video game releases. And I'm sure with the advent of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X coming out, it's gonna be a much harder thing to do. But I'm trying.
You what? See you in?
I'm on the painter. I forget his name right now.
Oh, so you're Madarame.
Yeah, Madarame, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm like 15 hours in. So yeah, I want to get my boy Yusuke. I gotta free him from that palace. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I really want to continue on, but it makes it so hard. And man, like I want remote play. I want remote play to work so bad. And playing xCloud over the past month, I'm like, oh, this is a potential. This could actually work. Why are you doing this, Sony? There's a lot of things that we'll get into the discussion later of that Sony's kind of been on the back burner on, and I don't really like that. But again, I want to continue with Persona 5 Royal. We'll get there, get it finished, and hopefully have it done by Game of the Year talks. And then, so I've been playing. I haven't finished the 3rd episode yet, but Tell Me Why is fantastic. I think the great thing that Dontnod does is their narratives are so strong. Every single one I've played, I've never had a bad time with. And like I played Life is Strange 2 was on my Game of the Year list last year, and it was phenomenal. I loved it probably as much as I loved the first Life is Strange. And this, I think, is their best storytelling to date. I think that the issues they deal with, not only coming as someone like coming back to a small town that you grew up in, and on top of that being a trans person that comes back, and having this. I don't want to say it like the Christian community, the religious community, where they come back and like, oh, like everyone's just like, oh, you're different. Like I don't like, I think that it captures the anxiety of that so well. I, as someone who is not, is a cis white male, who doesn't really know of those experiences, it was very interesting to get that take and to kind of understand the what is going on. You can definitely tell that they consulted the right people, and it is fantastic. I still have to play episode 3. I will get it done here soon, and then I can have the full review for you when we come back. And then a few games I want to touch on. Played Marvel's Avengers, did the I did the video review for DualShockers. Ryan Meitzler did the article, so I did the voiceover and all that. I really enjoy it. I don't necessarily agree with the 6 out of 10 that we gave it. I think it's more of a 7 because I personally have had a really great time with it with friends, and I think that if you want a baseline Avengers game, you're gonna have a great time with Avengers. There are some glaring bugs. There are some interesting things that they've done with the gameplay, and some kind of scummy things that they've done with the gameplay. But I think if you are just looking to kind of for a Marvel Ultimate Alliance experience in the third dimension, as it were, like in like a AAA game, I think that this is what you should be looking for. Unfortunately, it's not like the 10 out of 10 game that I want it to be, but it is a decent game nonetheless. And then lastly, I wanted to mention that I'm starting to play Spirit. Oh no, I forgot. Hold on. So I've been playing Spiritfarer, and it's very good. Very, just a nice cool down game. On Game Pass, go play it right now. Again, tell me why on Game Pass right now. So you can play both those games if you have Game Pass, and I know both of them are on xCloud right now. So if you have an Android phone and proper internet connection, you can play through them on the phone. And it's very weird playing with a DualShock 4, I will tell you. But getting the meat and potatoes of what I've been playing: Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Now, if you didn't see, there was a video put up on youtube.com/DualShockers that we did with one Cam Hawkins, and he and Asa Green River from Borderline Entertainment, and Brendan Groom from Pass the Controller. I almost said Push Square. I'm like, no, I know that's not right. And we did an analysis of what we think the 3D Mario games rank. You can find our list over at DualShockers.com and that video over at youtube.com/DualShockers. I being the one that had only played Super Mario 64, Super Mario 3D Land, and Super Mario Odyssey, so that was why I was moderating it and trying to get a perspective from someone who hasn't played Sunshine or Galaxy or 3D World. Let me tell you right now, I think Sunshine should be lower. I think Galaxy right now, properly placed. Hot take, Galaxy is properly placed on our list. Galaxy is not great. It is, again, like we said in the video, 9 out of 10. Like the 9 to 10 out of 10 games. All these games, 9 to 10 out of games. But in terms of a Mario game, Sunshine, there's been so many times where, Cam has said in the video that when you feel like you die and it's the game's fault, you feel very frustrated. And I feel that so much with Sunshine. There's a part...
Sunshine is the king of that.
Yeah.
Sunshine is
well, and then with the not the bloopers, but the surfboard squids. So I did the red coin mission, the red coin star, shine on the one of the things. Anyway, the worlds, the hub, yeah,
Rico Hub.
And I did that, and I beat it. It took me a couple times, but I beat it. Tried to go get the shine, and I could not. I crashed into the docks, and it says too bad. I'm like, what? I did it though. It is stupid. I think it should be lower. I love the aesthetic. I love what it's going for, but everything else sucks about that game.
It's a tough one because, like you say, there's some really good stuff in it, some really cool ideas. Flood can be a very cool mechanic. The bosses are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The theme park level is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't help but feel aggrieved when I play that game because there's so many times where I just fucking die. A stupid death that is absolutely avoidable. Not because of me, but because of some bad game design.
Yep, and I think that I do struggle the line between oh, I love this. And when I love it, I do love it. But when I hate it, boy, do I hate it. I'm like, man, I hate this. This is the worst. I can't believe I'm playing this and this is a Mario game. And then when I love it, it's like, oh, wow, this is I got such a charm to it. So again, still a 9 out of 10 game. I just don't think it's very good. Like, it's not a very good Mario game, I guess I should say.
See, I agree and disagree. I think, like, as I've said, there's some moments, but what I strongly disagree with is you disliking Galaxy.
Galaxy is not good.
Galaxy. How much of it have you played? Honestly, how much of it?
Okay. I haven't played a whole lot, but I have the same thing I have with Sunshine, where the mechanics in it piss me off, and I don't like the Galaxy aesthetic. I get motion sick. It is not what I like from a Mario game, and I just don't like it.
The music is so good.
The music is amazing. The fact that we got Rosalina from that game already makes it a 10 out of 10 game. I just don't like it.
Are you playing handheld mode or are you playing dock?
I played both. So I played handheld for a bit, and then I played docked with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
See, I think handheld with the Joy-Cons is definitely the way to play. It definitely feels better. Again, I will update you as I play and as I continue. But right now, I do not like Galaxy. I feel like it's very... I love the things I love about Galaxy are amazing. The story elements are amazing. The fact that we get Rosalina, the best princess in all of Mario, is again a 10 out of 10 deserving thing right there. Just chef's kiss. But everything else about that game I don't love. I think that there's a case to be made that it doesn't at times feel like a 3D Mario game in the same way that 3D World doesn't. I think there are times where again it does feel like a 3D Mario game, but I think for a majority of it feels like I'm playing a 2D Mario game on this little globe, and it's just I feel like the controls sometimes kill me on purpose. I don't like Galaxy. I don't like Galaxy right now. I may change my mind. Again, I haven't finished Sunshine. I haven't finished Galaxy. Hopefully by the next time I talk to you guys, I will have, and I will be able to voice my opinions there. But as of right now, that's what I feel. And Super Mario Sunshine or Super Mario 64 holds up.
So I'm now gonna tell you my thoughts about that collection, because obviously I reviewed it for Dual Shockers, so you can go and read my overall review over there. I scored it a 9 out of 10. Galaxy, I disagree with you. I think it's fucking phenomenal. Going back to that game today, it takes some getting used to with the shapes of the planets, and you kind of the controls are a bit tank control at times, where you run around and then it flips you back on yourself. But I think the whole design of it's great. The different gravity on different planets is great. Music, fantastic. Some of the best level designs. I really like Galaxy. Sunshine, I've got nothing else to say. 64 is still fantastic. Ridiculously good game. Going back to it, I try and play it every few years, but going back to it on the Switch was just, magic.
Yeah,
magic.
It holds up better than I thought it would. Again, I think there are some things that definitely show its age, but I think overall the game design is perfect. It is one of those things where I will jump into a world and I know exactly what I'm doing. And I think that Sunshine does that as well, to a lesser extent. But again, it is the tedious things that I don't like about Sunshine. But I think they do a great job of kind of being like, hey, like this is what you have to do for this star. This is what you have to do for each thing that is going on. And I think that it really gets that formula so well down. I really do enjoy 64.
Yeah, I agree. The camera is Still
I would say the cameras on all of them though are a bit jank. A bit jank.
Yeah, actually, the camera on Sunshine is potentially my favorite of the three.
Oh, I totally disagree. I
don't think it's the camera that kills me in Sunshine.
The camera kills me so much.
It's the other nonsense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Super Mario 3D World. Go check out my review on DualShockers, 9 out of 10. The only other criticism I had is that they don't considering it's a celebration of Mario's 35th anniversary, there's not a huge amount of celebration on there. There's the music, which is great, and then nothing else.
I think it's just good to have it on the Switch, but I do think it is a very bare bones port. Like, it doesn't feel like there's much fanfare at all, and obviously there's no up-resing. I mean, there's up-resing, but no actual like remake, or it doesn't feel like the other All-Stars games did, where you got a straight-up remake, which I think is due in some part to COVID.
The point I kind of made and why I still scored it a 9 is you buy games to play games. You don't buy games to look at the kind of extras per se. They're nice to have, but ultimately those 3 games are 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s any day. So therefore the collection should be a 9 out of 10, regardless of whether there's tons of extras or not.
Yeah, I think the other thing, the thing, again, if this came out in a different year, I think I would agree with you more, but I think the fact that this is the 35th anniversary celebration, I don't feel like it is the full extent of what they could have done, especially with when they first did the rumors of like, oh, the 64 is getting an all-out remake, and the disinclusion of Galaxy 2.
Yeah, that's shit. No, Galaxy 2 is done.
I think that, again, great collection of games. I'm so glad that I'm actually able to play these games. It's a very weird structure that they're doing it till March 2021, and then they're supposed to be delisted. That's very weird. Very Nintendo being Nintendo. But again, great collection of games. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked it if 64 was remade from the ground up. I like 64 because it's blocky and it's polygonal and it's super nostalgic. That's why I still love that game. If you rebuild it from the ground up, it's going to look really nice, but it's going to lose a lot of that charm and that magic from when you used to boot it up on the 64.
Well, there is that case to be made, like you're playing it how they originally were, to some extent. And I think that for the preservation of games, that's pretty cool. Again, with the whole of it only available till March 2021, we'll see how that works. But yeah, I do agree. Is there any other games you've been playing?
There's one other game that, again, I've struggled to find time to play games this month, which is always good for a gaming podcast. But the other game I played was another one I played for review, and it is a game called Star Renegades, which is out on PC, and it's coming to consoles later this year at some point, according to the developers. Man, this game is very fucking interesting. Strategy RPG, one of the most beautiful pixel art games I've ever played. That art style can feel a little bit overused now. Everyone's kind of gone for that pixel art style if you're an indie developer, kind of painting everyone with a broad brush, but Star Renegades does it so differently. Really nice color palettes. In terms of the game, like I say, strategy RPG with so many different cool systems that interlink with each other throughout the game. It's a roguelite, so lots of run-based stuff. 13 different classes you can pick from each run. A really cool battle system where there's a timeline along the top of the screen, and as you start your turn, you see where enemies' attacks fall on the timeline. You can then choose to position your attack how you want, knocking enemies further back. Just loads and loads of strategy involved. Really fun game. You should absolutely check that out if you get a chance, because if you like strategy RPGs, if you like RPGs, if you like roguelites, if you like pretty pixel art, then this game's got a lot going for it.
Nice, nice. And I do believe one Sam Woods, DualShockers own Sam Woods is on the trailer for.
I am. That's a fucking cool moment.
Yeah,
Just
I bet.
like, holy shit, man. I'm just a normal dude from a little fucking town in England, and a game's got my words on its kind of trailer.
Right, right.
Holy shit, it's still
Part of that sizzle reel, doggy dog.
Yeah. This whole journalism writing stuff is still surreal to me. I fucking love it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel real. And I know I've not made it. I'm so far from making it, but
you're making it
it's
happen.
little
But you're making it
it's
happen.
little things like that that's just really cool. Makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Nothing else you've been playing. You've touched on it all.
I'm sure I've done my ranting and raving of games that I've played, and I'm sure that my ranting and raving will not end when we get to our next segment.
Well, yeah. So we're kind of going lighter on the news side of things because we now moved to a monthly format. Lots of news breaks over the period of a month, and if we start talking about it all, we're just going to be so far behind on things that it's just not going to make sense. However, there's a couple of things that I wanted to quickly touch on before we move on to our big topic. One of the biggest stories this year, this decade, this just for a very long time, Microsoft brought Bethesda.
Yeah, dog. What a power move. What?
Those words coming out of my mouth now just
right.
doesn't. Microsoft brought Bethesda. What?
Yo, what a freaking power move, dude. Like, now the question on a lot of people's minds, and I want to see your, what gauge your opinion. Do you think that the games are going to be exclusive now? Yeah. Same.
I don't get why they wouldn't be. The whole selling point of the PlayStation is, look at our exclusives. We've got God of War, we've got Spider-Man, we've got Horizon, blah, 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 blah. If Microsoft, Xbox can come back and say, we've got Fallout, we've got Elder Scrolls, we've got Starfield, that absolutely puts them on way more of a level playing.
And they're all on Game Pass. Imagine that conference. And be like, Phil Spencer be like, yeah, here's Elder Scrolls 6, and it's on Game Pass day one. I don't know. I don't know how, and I've heard this come around in the games industry recently, but I don't know how they're going to be able to sustain that. I think this is another pull for them to maybe push the price of Game Pass up, which I think is an inevitability at this point, especially with things like xCloud that you get with Ultimate Games Gold and all that sort of thing. But I do think that it is a very big power move. I mean, the thing is, to put in perspective, Xbox bought Bethesda for almost twice of what Disney bought Star Wars. Just think about that. There is no way in hell that they're going to be like, yeah, PlayStation. They can get on PlayStation. They can get on Switch. There's no way in hell.
The only argument for it going to PlayStation is a kind of, yes, you can buy it on PlayStation for $70, £70, or you buy an Xbox, you get Game Pass, and you get it for free on Game Pass.
That's the thing.
That way,
I could see that
they make their money from the PlayStation audience. Obviously, that money's still going into Microsoft Bank for the most part, but then they're also getting those people who don't want to pay for it to buy an Xbox and to subscribe to Game Pass. And
right.
That's the only argument for the games going to PlayStation.
Well, the other thing is, I think that Xbox is doing a very fantastic job right now at building their platform, building the Xbox brand. I mean, a lot of what you see when it comes to the Xbox branding of stuff is it's not Xbox Series X, it's Xbox. It's just Xbox. You can play this on the Series X, the Series S, your PC, and even your phone now. That is mind-blowing. Like even the where we were a couple years ago, I would have never thought, but now they're building up, because no matter where you play, you're paying them. You are paying them the $15 or whatnot for xCloud. You're paying them for Game Pass on PC. You're paying them for your Series X. They don't need to be in this console race, and that's the thing I've been saying for a long time. Not a long time, but I mean, like, since these consoles have really gotten to full swing, is the fact that it is very cool to see each one of the video game top dogs doing something completely different from each other, to where Xbox is building their platform. They are a brand more than they are a console holder.
Be careful, because we might be eating into our next topic here.
Okay. All right. You know what?
I totally agree.
We can segue over to it, and then I'll finish my point.
Cool. Yeah. Save that. Put it in the bank. So yeah, Microsoft, Bethesda, crazy world. The only other news story I wanted to bring up, because that wouldn't be an episode without me talking about Animal Crossing, is the new update going to get you back in the Halloween stuff?
I want to imagine it does, because man, Halloween objectively is the best holiday. I love Christmas, don't get me wrong. I love giving presents. Obviously, like before we were recording, I was waiting on a gift to come in for my roommate. So I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts. You know, that's my favorite. I love that. But I can kind of, like, this is his birthday. Like, I can do this kind of anytime. Whereas now, like, Halloween, I get spooky vibes. I get to watch my horror movies. I mean, again, I could watch horror movies anytime, but this is just everything. The fall happening, dressing up, all that. It is fantastic. I love the vibes. I love the spooky vibes. I want to get into Animal Crossing, and share in that reverence of Halloween. Will I do it? Maybe. I have jumped into my Animal Crossing island. There is a few more weeds than I would have liked to been there, but I think I'm gonna dedicate myself to go do it at least a week of Animal Crossing and check it out and get it all situated.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I've been hopping back in from time to time because I want to catch every fish. I want to catch every bug.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to check in every month. This Halloween stuff looks cool. The pumpkin patches stuff looks cool. Be interesting if they then evolve that into growing other vegetables and stuff. Now the foundations are there. So yeah, we'll see. I'm intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's all the newsy stuff that I want to get into.
Big topic.
Yeah, it's that time. A lot has happened in the last month. A lot has happened. We've got all of the next gen news pretty much that we need now. It's like less than a month and a half until we get brand new consoles, which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so damn excited. How are you feeling about it all?
I am feeling all sorts of ways. I don't feel like it's here yet, even though it very much is. I don't feel like I'm ready for it, even though I very much am. Like, I basically have secured a PS5 from DualShockers own Logan Moore, who bought one at Amazon, and I don't know, man. Like, it feels weird. It feels weird to be in this future. I'm planning on trying to get a TV for myself for Christmas. I'm looking at that Sony X900 so I can get that 4K to HDMI 2.1 for your PS5 games. I want to eventually get the Series S or Series X But right now, again, I am a Sony pony. I do enjoy those games. I want to get Demon Souls. Demon Souls is what really did it for me. That I couldn't wait.
You're rushing ahead. Slow down.
Oh no! Wait, I thought we were in the big topic though.
Yeah, I want to talk. I want to talk through.
Okay.
First of all, I want to stay on pre-orders. How much, seeing as you spoke about getting a pre-order from Logan Moore, how much of a shit show were the pre-orders?
It was a real shit show. Luckily, I wasn't in it too hard because like I danced with the idea. Okay, here's what I feel. I do believe Sony shit the bed on information when it came to in the conference, because what we should have done, and I get why they did it. I get why they did it the way they did it, but what they should have done at the very least is did launch date, like Spider-Man launch title, or Demon Souls launch title. Like they only said holiday 2020, and we didn't know. Like Jeff Keighley was the first person to say, "Hey, Demon Souls is a launch title," and that was when I was like, I was already like 20. There were 20 minutes into the pre-orders, and I was like, "Well, I have to get it now because I that is my game that I want to play so badly, and it looks so good." I do think that a lot of things were everywhere, like they weren't clear on what they said. They didn't really say anything, I guess. But they're like, no, Sony PlayStation pre-orders will go up later. PlayStation pre-orders will go up this time, and then it just went up.
That's the thing. So I wasn't particularly planning on pre-ordering one. It was after the showcase event from PlayStation. I was just sat in bed catching up on Twitter. I was covering it for DualShockers, so I didn't really have time to check my Twitter feed. And then shout out to Kamel, who is somebody that I've tagged him in a couple of things for pre-orders. And out of the blue, he just tagged me in a pre-order link for the PS5. And I was like,
nice.
Damn, I guess I'm going to have to pre-order it now.
Yeah.
I kind of panic pre-ordered one, which now I'm happy I've done because I know I've got it secured. I know I don't need to panic, but it was like midnight. There was no indication that they were going live, and then they're live.
So my question... Well, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say Xbox isn't much better, but we can come on to that in a second.
Yeah. I just want to finish out the PlayStation side of things with saying, or asking, are you digital boy or are you physical boy?
Physical all day.
Yeah, right? I gotta have that disc drive. I gotta have the potential. I gotta have the potential for the disc drive.
That's what it's all about. I know it's different, but my Switch library is actually it's near enough 100% physical where I can get a physical copy. A lot of indie games are digital, where obviously I can only get them digitally, but I like to have a tangible thing that I can wait for in the post and open up. And I know it's such like an archaic kind of...
I love having a shelf
mindset, but yeah, I've got like a huge set of shelves over there with... I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's going to be too dark or too much glare.
The light.
That shelf there is just all my games from all different console generations.
Right down here. Nope, you can't see it at all. My fat ass is blocking it all. If you look down there, I got some. And then I have, over in the other room, I have a collection of my 360 and PS3 and Switch. I just love that physical media. I'm tired of stuff getting delisted. You know, like Forza Horizon 3 was getting delisted, even though I don't really care about that game. Like, I was like, oh, like this is happening. So I do enjoy that. I am that kind of like that guy who's like, don't take away my things. Don't take away my physical video games. I want to cling on to them.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim, 10 years that game just couldn't be brought. Like, that's why I prefer to have a physical game. Plus, if everything goes to shit, you've got something to sell.
That's another
Ultimately.
thing. Well, like especially like with Persona, I didn't get the Royal one, but I did get the Persona 5 Steelbook edition, and I wouldn't be able to do that. I love having those physical steelbooks. I love having a physical media of something I love, and I think that's
I would agree.
So let's move on to the Xbox stuff.
So yeah, the Xbox pre-orders weren't much better than Microsoft. They kind of had the cheek than PlayStation. They had the cheek to take a sly jab at Sony and say like, "Don't worry, we're putting our pre-orders on this date, and there's going to be no problems."
Yeah, there was always going to be problems.
Lo and behold, the pre-order date comes and garbage truck on fire.
Yeah,
sites were going down. I didn't try and get an Xbox. I will get one at some point. I've got a One X. I've got a PlayStation Pro. I will get a Series X at some point, but not yet. But yeah, just seeing Twitter and places like that, Xbox wasn't much better.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable with any pre-order. Even if you're like, hey, take like last year, obviously very different times, but when the My Chemical Romance tickets went on sale, and they're like, all right, like there was like the Tuesday of, they're like, all right, Friday we're gonna, I think it was the Tuesday of, we'll see, like we'll figure it out. Anyways, the Tuesday of, they're like, hey, Friday tickets go on sale 10 a.m. Be there, be square. And then Friday came around, 10 a.m. came around. I was maybe 40 minutes late to it, and like the nosebleed seats were already going for $500. Like, I think that the other thing is, like, scalpers are a huge problem in this industry. I mean, in any industry really. And obviously with the My Chemical Romance tickets, that happened to me. I didn't end up getting the tickets, thank God, because obviously everything went to hell after that. But in this case, I think that when you say like a very anticipated thing is coming out, and this is when you can spend money on it, I think that it's inevitable that you're going to have somebody be like, all right, this is when we're going to jump on it. This is when we can. And I think the problem with that too is like you're telling the scalpers, hey, this is when to jump on. And I think that, and not that that's Microsoft's fault at all, but it is just a product of what is the
I saw
industry right now.
Somebody on Twitter, I can't credit them, apologies, but they said there should be a token system. So you need to log in with your PlayStation account or your Xbox account, show that you are a regular player. I don't know how they would look at your tenure or how they would judge it from there, but just stop scalpers. You have to buy it via a website through your PlayStation or Xbox account. That's one way to avoid it, but obviously, what do I know?
Yeah, I think it restricts new players too, though. But
that's a fair.
It's there's got to be a better way, you know. Like I think that it is inevitable, unfortunately, right now. But I'm sure we can over time we can figure out a way.
So, yeah, what Microsoft's whole situation wasn't great. Like all the leaks and stuff before, that was a whole interesting situation.
They, to their credit, they totally owned up to, like, you're talking about like the Series S leaks and all that. Yeah, they totally owned up to it. They're like, we were going to release this in a press conference for press, but here you go. And they made jokes about it, and I think that the social team did a very good job dealing with that.
I don't disagree with you. I think they handled it perfectly, but I think at that point when so much is leaked, you've got no leg to stand on. You kind of just have to go, yeah, it's happened.
Right. Well, I think also the thing that they did there was already a power, again, Xbox doing their power moves of in that video, in that clip that was leaked out, it said the Series S was $299.99. And I was like, there is no way. There is no gosh dang way that this thing is $299. And then immediately they're like, yep, $299. That when you have something that leak that is that good, Like I feel like that is a win. I it would have been better to have it officially be like, whoa, I can't believe that, but
Well, thank you for the setup, Nick, because my next question
Mhm.
is, how are you feeling about the prices of everything?
I feel like they're good. I think we said before, when, because I was on the live stream for the press conference before, and I know Cam spoke about the it being 450, or not 450, the physical being 499 and then the digital being 450. I do think that they bit a little bit, they're biting a little bit with the digital edition. um but I think that those are decent prices. I think it's phenomenal that the Xbox Series S is $299. That is insane, absolutely insane. To have a not lesser, I guess it's a lesser model, but I mean still a next gen model of this system to be at that price. That is what the Switch was, like that is blows my mind. It blows my mind with all the technology that they have.
Yeah, I was fully expecting for the PlayStation to not be surprised when they said 600.
Yep, same.
I was bracing myself, and I was expecting them to go hard with the digital because obviously they can make their money back through the software sales. They get a larger cut from digital sales. So I was expecting them to go harder with the digital. But like you say, the Series S at that price is just
Yep.
unbelievable. That's like One S prices, right? How much is the One S?
One X. I think One X. That's the price of One X over here.
Okay.
I think. I mean, at least. I'll do some research. Hold on.
The One S over here is 250, so that's why I presumed it was potentially 299 over there, or at least it was a few months ago. And then the One X was 450. So the prices look to be kind of comparable to what the One S and the One X.
It is the One S. The One S is that same price. Which I do think, I think the naming schemes are something to, that is a problem. It's sort of a problem, because like going into a store and when there's already the One X and the One S, it is like, even for someone like me, like it is hard, like having to slow myself down and say the Series X, the Series S, the One X, the One S. Like I have to like, oh nope, that's not what I meant to say, and yeah, it's the same thing I have with Nintendo, with like the new 3DS, and man, working at a retail store when that was announced, and that, well, I'm like, oh, we have a 3DS, like what's new about the new 3DS? I'm like, it's like new games or some shit, I don't know. Like,
just shout out to my homies who still work in the stores that I used to manage, because I know they're going to have a tough time of it. Chris, keep it real. Wes, keep it real. Dean, keep it real. I know you're going to be having a hard time out there.
Retail will be hard, let me tell you.
I don't envy them. Mm-hmm. But going ahead to my next point, you started to touch on it.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the launch lineups. So for PS5, I'm going for kind of very launch day or very close to. You've got Astro's Playroom, Demon Souls, Destruction All Stars, DMC5 Special Edition, Godfall, the PlayStation Plus collection, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
I'm ready for that.
How are we feeling about PlayStation's launch lineup?
I think it's not the best, I'm gonna say. Not a lot of launch lineups are. I think it is good, not great. Obviously, that we're gonna get our Ubisoft games like Assassin's Creed, or third-party games like Watch Dogs, or third-party like Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs. Cyberpunk, I know, is at a later date. The one that's weird is that was just announced a couple days ago, that Yakuza Like a Dragon is not going to be on PS5 until March. So that's an interesting precedent now that we're setting, because now it's becoming more of a Xbox franchise, I guess.
So the main kind of launch titles that are going to be across both platforms I've got down is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Black Ops Cold War, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Avengers, and Watch Dogs Legion are kind of the biggest multi-platform launch titles. See, for me, I feel like PlayStation's launch lineup is strong.
Good.
If you look at comparing it to the PS4 launch lineup, I'm just going from memory here, so I could be entirely wrong. But was it Knack 2 or Knack?
It was Knack
1.
Knack, Killzone, Shadowfall. I think, Black Flag. Infamous wasn't until later, or just a little bit later. It wasn't a hugely strong lineup.
So when you compare this to that, I feel we're in a way better place. In terms of PlayStation, what do you think of the PlayStation Plus collection? I'm sure you live reacted.
Yeah, I think it's underbaked, undercooked. I think that people are going to make it akin to Game Pass when it is not. I don't think it will ever be Game Pass. I don't even think it'll be close to Game Pass. I want to be wrong. I want to be very wrong, but I don't see it becoming this great thing. I don't even see them adding that many games, to be honest.
It's just a nice thing to
have. It is nice to have. I just don't think that it's going to be the saving grace that everyone thinks it is. That's the way PlayStation is right now.
I just think it's okay, cool, thanks. Like, I've played most of these games. Will I play them again? Probably not. Am I the intended audience for it? Probably not. It's potentially for those people who are on the fence, and it may swing a few people towards PlayStation. Like I say, I was going to buy a PlayStation anyway, so it's not doing a huge deal for me. But the Xbox launch lineup. See, even on my
before you go on that, I do have the launch titles of the PS4 just to compare. Third-party titles were Angry Birds Star Wars, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Call of Duty Ghosts, FIFA 14, Battlefield 4, Just Dance 2014, Injustice Gods Among Us, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Madden 25, NBA 2K 14, Flower, the Sony, the SIE games were Flower, Killzone, Shadowfall. What?
Is Resogun one of them?
Yep, Resogun, Sound Shapes, Escape Plan, and Flow.
See,
so
to me, this is night and day in terms of the production.
Yeah,
like the 5 lineup is for me a lot stronger than it was then. Then Xbox, and this goes to show how bad the naming conventions are. On my show notes, I've written down Xbox One. So it just goes to show it's going to confuse people. The main titles you've got coming to Xbox One for launch: Gears Tactics, Tetris Effect Connected, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's kind of it. Obviously, you've got Game Pass, and we'll touch more on Game Pass. I know we've touched on it already. But in terms of like launch exclusives, that's pretty weak, right?
It's weak in terms of the first party, obviously. We were supposed to have Halo here at launch, or at least close to launch. Obviously, that didn't happen. I don't think it's bad for Xbox, again, with backwards compatibility confirmed, on top of, with generations of backwards compatibility confirmed, and actual a precedent set, unlike PlayStation right now. They do have a lineup of games where they're going to be enhanced with the 4K. So if you're new to the Xbox generation, I think that you're going to be very satisfied with what you have. I think for people who have already been on that train, maybe will not be as pleased. I think that this, as a launch lineup though, I think that this is, again, I almost think it's good, not great. Especially with the Yakuza thing. I think is pretty big.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I don't, again, I don't think that it's anywhere near, probably. It's probably, they're very comparable to me, like to Sony. Like looking at the Xbox One launch titles, again, like your third parties like Assassin's Creed, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Dead Rising 3, A Fighter Within, Forza Motorsport 5, Just Dance 2014, Killer Instinct, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Loco Cycle, Madden 25, NBA 2K14, NBA Live 14, Need for Speed Rivals, Power Star Golf, Rise Son of Rome, Skylander Swap Force, Zoo Tycoon, and Zumba Fitness. Again, like I think that this might probably, like, pound for pound, might be a better lineup than what they had before, just because I don't think a lot of those games really showed up.
When you throw Game Pass, then yeah, I would agree. I'm kind of interested in Gears Tactics coming to
Gears
console.
Tactics is so good. Gears Tactics is so good, especially when you're talking strategy franchise. I mean, not a strategy franchise, but like you're talking about strategy games. I think that you definitely should check it out. It's like XCOM, but Gears of War, and it's magnificent. I played it on PC. Yeah. Anyways,
I'm intrigued by it. But yeah, I don't know. Xbox not doing a huge amount for me yet, so that's why I'll hang tight. I'm just looking forward to playing Cyberpunk on my PS5.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking.
Spider-Man.
I'm looking forward to the games, to these awesome game generations that we're gonna have, to see what's ahead of us, especially like we said earlier, with Xbox buying Bethesda and having all these studios and having all these different things. I'm going to finish my point of I started earlier. It's really cool, again, to see Xbox doing this totally platform different thing, seeing PlayStation doing the platform, what we expect from a platform with the exclusives, and this is only on this is only on that. And then you have Nintendo over there doing whatever the hell Nintendo wants because they're Nintendo. You know, like, it is so cool that we finally have a generation that all three big parties are doing something super different, and like,
I agree.
They're all opposing each other, and it doesn't have to be a console war necessarily. It can be. They're all doing. They're not even in the same game. None of them are in the same game anymore.
Yeah, I agree. So how do we feel about like the messaging for this gen? Because if we're going to have a winner and a loser, not inciting console wars, don't give a shit about any of that. Play games if you want to play games. But Microsoft's messaging's been better, right?
Yeah,
like
I think, especially like I said earlier with the backwards compatibility stuff. Like, we know backwards compatibility is coming in some extent to PS5, obviously with the PlayStation Plus collection that was announced, but also other ways. But we don't know how. We know that it's PlayStation 4 games, but it's like over, what is it, 1,000?
He said 99% of games, of PS4 games, are going to be backwards compatible. Cool, but Sony's messaging has been so all over the place that, like, is it actually 99%? Was that a flippant remark by Jim Ryan, who's just kind of gone, yeah, it'll be about 99%. Like, how does it work? And then in terms of Sony's messaging as well, you've got the whole Miles Morales, Spider-Man remastered situation. Like, you can't buy it on its own. You can only get it with this, but your PS4 version will work, but it won't be the upgraded version. Like,
well, the biggest things, I don't know if this is confirmed for Xbox as well, but I know that the PS4 to PS5 save data from Yakuza is not going to be compatible, and that's a big thing. I think bigger than cross-play, cross-progression is important. You know, the fact that, you know, like, and then Cam Hawkins over at DualShockers and I both agree, where the hell is cross-progression for Overwatch? Like, it is skins. They are skins. Like, it's not like you have to bring a save data over. It is skins that are tied to your account, you know? Like, I think that there can be a lot done with the cross-save, and if it's not there, it may not matter. I think when a lot of people do backwards compatibility, they're trying to pick up games that they either haven't played, which is a case by case basis, or games that they haven't finished. And I think the fact that if they don't have any sort of save function to carry over, it's a bit off.
Yeah, I agree. And then the only other point I want to say about Sony's nonsense messaging, that how they initially said, "Oh, we believe in generations. Like, what's the point in putting all of this hard work in to advance it if you're then going to release games on previous generations?" Obviously, I'm paraphrasing there, but essentially, they said PS5 games are going to be PS5 games, and then since pre-orders, they've come out and said, "Psych! Like, no, you can buy Spider-Man Miles Morales on your PS4, you can buy Demon's Souls on your PS4, you can buy Horizon, which isn't even out for who knows how long, on your PS4." It's like, okay, fine, that's fine, but just don't bullshit about it.
I know they basically all but confirmed Horizon for 2021 release, and they talked about PS4 having PS4 having a version of Horizon Forbidden Wests. Like, I think that that's an interesting take. And I think that, back to the save thing, when I can have play Tell Me Why on this phone and then bring it over to Xbox and then bring it over to my PC, that's a big win for Xbox. Even though it's a minor thing, it's a big win for Xbox. And I think that with PlayStation, unfortunately, everything is, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe, like, everything has been so mishmashed over the past couple of months that I believe it when I see it, because they were, initially when the pre-orders were going live, we talked about this earlier, they were like, "Oh no, it's going live tomorrow. Be ready tomorrow." And then they went live. I don't believe anything that PlayStation's putting out until I see it happen and tangibly have it in my hands.
I agree. Yeah, it's just been a bizarre lead up to launch. But look at us; we've both pre-ordered PlayStations and Nova.
I know. I'm a shill though. You gotta know.
Me both. So yeah, Xbox, obviously, like we say, we've touched on their messaging. The main thing that, again, you've spoken about is Game Pass. They're going to have the Bethesda titles. EA Play is included now.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Just insane move. Like, you have to imagine it's going to go up in price, or something's going to have to change soon, right?
They're getting ready for a big move for sure.
There's so much jam-packed in there, so fair play to them. Like you say, xCloud as well, although a bit of a miss is how expensive the external storage is. $220 to kind of add some storage. Yes, it's like a proprietary piece of kit, but your Xbox Series S is almost redundant because it's 500 gig, so you're gonna then need to buy some external storage, and at that point you may as well just buy a Series X.
Oh, do we know what the Series X storage is at?
I think it's the internal storage is 1 terabyte, but reports have come out over the last day or so that 200 gig of that is used up.
Got you.
By the kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's kind of the biggest miss that Xbox have going for them.
Yeah, we saw that with the PlayStation Vita a couple of years ago. I say a couple of years ago, but it's been like almost a decade. But we saw that with that. I don't think that'll be as big of an issue as it was for the Vita. Having a proprietary memory card, or I mean, in this case, it's a storage. Because I don't think that that's going to matter to the general populace, I guess. Because I mean, most people are going to be like, okay, I can just delete this game and then go back up. But for people like us, it's going to be like, oh, like I don't want to pay that much for another.
So no, you think you've got the hardcore gamers who are
Mhm.
going to play everything. Then you've got your casual gamers who want GTA,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Call of Duty, and FIFA. They're the three big ones over here, at
Yeah,
least. Probably what Madden or NBA
yeah.
over there. But how big games are getting these days? Like if you
It's going to
buy
be
the
an
one,
issue. Yeah.
buy the Series S, those three games are probably going to fill it
Mm-hmm.
or come very close to, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to become an issue. I I don't know. If we can somehow still like plug some sort of external, um, then that or down the line or have some sort of dongle. I don't think it's going to be an issue for them necessarily at launch, especially with the X being at 1 TB. Um, but yeah, I mean Warzone itself is 100 gigs, and I know that we got some confirmation of some of the games, and most of them range from anywhere from 60 gigs to 70 gigs, for the most part. So I think that off the bat, we're not going to have a problem with it. If it does become a problem, I see Microsoft changing it rather than where Sony did, where they're just like, nope, we can't change this. So
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think that's everything
mhm.
that's kind of next gen that's come out. Is there anything that you feel you want to add?
Nope, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what everybody ends up doing. And again, it's an exciting console generation when we do have everything, all the console holders doing something entirely different, and it is an unprecedented thing. And on top of that, just seeing the way, and I kind of felt this before, I was like, oh, it might happen, but it's usually like the 360 generation. Xbox 360 got real cocky in their messaging and all that because they were the top dog, and it's a fluctuating back and forth thing where PlayStation, got real cocky in the PlayStation 4 generation when they're like, here, used game, that's how you share, and now we're back on the same kick. I do think we're gonna have less of that though, where they're kind of ignoring each other.
Doing their own.
Yeah.
I'm excited to just get that big fucking chunky thing.
That
in my
meaty
hands.
guy. The meaty guy. Man, do you think the PS5 is gonna be huge though? Like there is, I don't know if you saw in our Discord, but the PS5 quote unquote leak of what the size, and I'm like, that is gonna take up an entirety of my entertainment stand section.
Yeah, I've got genuine concerns
Mm-hmm.
whether or not that's going to fit where my PlayStation is at the moment. So we'll see. That's going to be all part of
the discovery of it.
So, exactly. I love just getting that console and just playing around with the UI, just looking at the menu, just hearing the sounds.
Xbox's new store UI, very good. It's very good.
Yeah, I agree. Xbox with those winning messages, but we'll see. Talking of winning,
nice segue.
I'm currently in the lead, 9.8. So yeah, it's that time of the show where we head into our now monthly game. I've still got it down as the weekly game, but times have changed. So yeah, last time me and our guest Mario teamed up to guess your video game, Who Am I? And that put me in the lead, 9 points to 8. Can't even remember who it was. Some Kingdom Hearts character. Mario
it was Riku.
Mario had to bail me out of that one. So thank you, Mario.
Yeah.
Now it's my chance to further extend my lead.
Retain your lead.
You have 5 questions for me on a particular topic. What is the topic this time out?
Man, it is time to play everybody's favorite Mario-based game show, Star, Shine Sprite, or Moon. Oh, there you go.
I'm liking where this is going.
All right. I, Nicholas Blaine, am testing Sam Woods' knowledge of the fantastic Mario games that we talked about on this very channel and over at Dual Trackers. All right, are you ready? Are you ready, Sam?
So, are you, just to make it clear, are you going to give me the name of a star?
Yep.
Or
it's a star, shine, or moon. And
so we're talking.
You have to guess. Yep.
Shine or Odyssey. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, I guess you could also technically, I think Galaxy, but all you have to do, moon, star, or shine.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I was gonna make it that hard on you, but I am making it hard on you. All right, our first one. I think you might get this one. Navigating the Toxic Maze.
That's 64. That's a star.
That is indeed a star from 64. All right, this one might be tricky though. The glass is half full. Is that a shine, a star, or a moon?
Is it a moon from the water level on Odyssey where the octopus is in the giant glass?
God damn it, you're so good. I should have gone. I was like, I don't want to go super hard on him, but then I did. I didn't. Okay, so yes, you got 2 right. Climb up the cascading magma. Climb up the cascading magma. Is that a star,
Not
a shine, or a moon?
That's Mario Odyssey as well. That's the chef world.
Listen, motherfucker, I'm not asking you where the game is from. I'm asking you if it's a shine.
Moon.
You don't have to be this good, okay? All right. Oh man, you're so good. All right. Uncork the waterfall.
That is. I've just played that one. That is a shine, and I could go into details on exactly.
Yeah, I made this too easy on you. And then the last one is, hurry, he's hungry.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the one I was like, yeah, this is good. This one is super vague.
It's not 64. I'm torn between Sunshine, with it being something Yoshi based, or Galaxy. I don't know if you'd throw a Galaxy curveball in there with feeding a Luma the star pieces. I'm gonna go. Oh, motherfucker. I think this may be the first one that I missed. I'm gonna go a star from Galaxy.
Motherfucker, you got it right. Damn it. I thought this was super hard.
Dude, I think
the Toxic Maze one, I knew. I was like, no, I know he's gonna know that one. I just want to start it off real nice. But like the glass half full, the cascading magma, uncork the waterfall. I was like, oh, like I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. But I was like, hurry, he's hungry. That's out there. You got it right.
Feeling a little bit smug right now.
You should be. Yes, you should.
They were tricky, and I think. I know a lot about Mario. I'm not pretending to be like a Mario encyclopedia, but if you were to ask those to a fair weather Mario fan, I think they would have probably struggled.
Yep.
And I struggled, and I had to use logic for some of them. And it doesn't help from your point of view that I've replayed all 4 of these games.
Well, and the fact I was like, I'm going to try to choose later levels because I don't think he has beat any of them, so...
Now I've beaten Sunshine. I've beaten 64. I beat Odyssey just before I played through these 2, and I'm about halfway through Galaxy.
Nice.
So,
well, with that, all right.
That was really that fun. So the scores are now. Let me just.
Okay, hold on. Can you just please, like, because you got it all right? Can you do your victory?
I don't have
Do
a.
it for me.
You made.
Do it for
You
me.
made-
Do it for me. Do it for me.
I hate you so much.
Just do it for me. I don't. It didn't pick it up on the mic. Can you do it again? Hey, what
You-
did you do? Sha.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it. You gotta do sha. do it
Absolutely.
real loud. All right.
Absolutely. Not.
Anyways,
So the scores are now 14 points to the Calm Phantoms and 8 points to the Defiant Stallions.
the Defiant Stallions. Trot 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 trot.
I was wondering if you were going to do that.
Oh yeah,
And
every time
no surprises
I
there.
have to make the call out. You know.
That is it. That's the end of
Another
another
episode.
episode of the Co-op Stop. Next time out, we're going to be just a couple of weeks from the new consoles
I
launching.
know it's gonna be interesting.
Wild. Also, just quickly, I'm pissed off that you guys get the PS5 before us. Forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah, we do. Wait, do we?
You get it a week before us in Europe.
Really? I
Ours
thought
is 9.
I thought that they got it the same time as the US. I thought that was just the other. Interesting.
Yep. So, yeah.
Interesting.
A week before me. So that's some bullshit, but I'm not complaining. Nick, before we go, where can everybody find you?
Of course, you can find me over at this very channel, youtube.com/ShockMcPain, where I just posted a Memory Lane episode with one Riley McDonald for Monster Hunter. If you love Monster Hunter, if you don't love Monster Hunter, it's a great conversation. We had a great time. Check it out for sure. And also, you can follow me over at ShockMcPain. I was like at, and I'm like, oh, I was like twitter.com/ShockMcPain or at ShockMcPain on Twitter to see my antics over there. And of course, you can also see my work over at youtube.com/DualShockers. Just put up a review of Avengers, as I said in the beginning of the episode. It was done by the wonderful Ryan Meitzler, and I did the VO for it and the editing. Check it out; it's a very good review. Again, I don't necessarily agree with the end product of the our score, but I enjoy his writing and his opinions on that, of course. And I'm gonna direct it. I'm gonna do like a co-host thing and direct it right over to you, Sam Woods. Where can people find you?
I am at Captain Woodsy on Twitter, and you can also find a lot of my shit over on DualShockers. I've just had my review of Mario 3D All-Stars go up. I'm starting to review a game very soon. You can see that. You can also read some of my stuff where I talk about Fall Guys not being a very good game, and some other little bits and pieces.
And there's also a YouTube video of that very thing as well, but done by one Peter Spittake over at youtube.com/DualShockers.
Very good video. Incredible writing. Really, really good
Yeah,
piece of writing.
That writer guy, whoever wrote that, very good, very good.
So yeah, that's us. That's another week. I've been Sam. That's been Nick.
No
We love you.
no technical
much.
difficulties. Fuck
Yeah.
white supremacy. Bye.
Supremacy.